On the latest episode of Farmer Wants a Wife, Camels, Cliffhangers, and Brooks. Oh, Ty! I'm Lizzie Frizzle. This is the Recap Corner. Let's talk about some TV. Oh! Season 2, Episode 8 is called Someone Needs to Go Home, and they do, since 3 of the farmers suddenly have 4 contestants again, after the addition of new arrivals Emerson, Natalie, and Ashley, and returnee Mackenzie. The last episode ended as the cast was partway through a camp-out mixer in South Carolina, where the campfire was sparking, but the chemistry between the farmers and some of their contestants wasn't. Nathan and Kristen took a platonic boat ride, Natalie and Mitchell had terrible conversation, and there was nothing but tension between Brooke and Ty. The unromance continues at the top of this episode. In the morning on the campground, first thing, Kristen quits the show. She'd been up all night thinking about how if she didn't feel sparks with Nathan during a dusky boat ride on a beautiful river, then when will she ever? He felt encouraged post-boat after he asked her to bear with him while he got to know her more. But it only convinced Kristen that they'd never get out of the friend zone. It's too bad that Nathan keeps accidentally friend-zoning his contestants, but Kristen's been on borrowed time since she said a few episodes ago that she was struggling with how wet Florida is.
I'm from California, so I'm not used to everything being so wet.
Not everyone has a bad time at the mixer, though. Brandon says camping gave him the freedom to focus on who he wanted to, while his other contestants entertained themselves. Cut to Joy, who says that Brandon didn't talk to her much the entire trip, so she takes matters into her own hands and tries to catch herself some company. At the end of the mixer, each farmer asks a woman on their next solo date. Everyone invites their new contestant except Mitchell, who invites Sydney as requested, but not before looking Natalie's way first.
I'm looking forward to this time with this girl. I would love to have the opportunity to take Sydney out to one of my favorite places.
Yay!
Ty invites Ashley, Nathan invites Mackenzie, and Brandon invites Emerson because he wants to get her alone.
I would really like to get this girl alone where she can be comfortable with me.
Back on the farms, the solo dates begin. Jennifer Nettles explains that each farmer plans their date according to the personality and interests of the woman they've invited. For outdoorsy Sydney, that means visiting one of Mitchell's childhood fishing holes. For Mackenzie, it means bonding about family at Nathan's favorite thinking spot. For Ashley, it means dinner with Ty at a riverside restaurant, but for Emerson, it means going to a hot spring to drink booze in a bathing suit. Are we sure Brandon catered the date to her interests and not his own? At the hot spring, Emerson tells Brandon that her love language is physical touch while touching his thigh. The camera randomly racks focus to a cheese plate so we know food was provided alongside the alcohol. And Brandon inquires about Emerson's dubious agriculture degree.
So you said you minored in ag.
Took some agriculture classes, yeah.
Tell me about those. What did they teach you?
Soil science, dirt, mud, all of it.
At the end of the date, Emerson says that she felt butterflies for the first time in a long time. Does that mean she didn't feel anything when she sucked Brandon's face off last episode? In Tennessee, at Mitchell's fishing spot, Sydney works up the nerve to tell him about her baggage.
I come with baggage.
Okay, tell me.
I have 2 sheep at home, and they're like my world.
I'm totally down to get some sheep.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the best day of my life.
Hi.
My sheep's name are Teddy and Tucker.
Why was she surprised that the farmer she's dating, who doesn't have any farm animals, would be willing to raise her sheep? In the context of this specific dating show, owning sheep isn't even baggage, it's a benefit. So is Sydney's ability to catch a fish.
It's gonna happen. No, wait, what'd I say?
Keep it coming right here. Keep the tension. Keep the tension.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
No.
Let's go!
Is there any activity shouting "let's go" hasn't infiltrated?
Let's go!
Later, they sit fireside while Mitchell plays guitar at Sydney.
I want to write a song about you.
We're so lucky to have this.
You're lucky. And I'm lucky too.
Bless you.
I can see you floating like this river and catching trout with you to the end of forever.
At the end of the date, they kiss, sometimes while already being close together, sometimes not. In Florida, a misleadingly parked ATV makes me think Nathan and Mackenzie are going riding, but he walks her to a nearby pond and teaches her a game about throwing rocks into the water instead.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
I can disorient a fish.
After, they talk about the same family hardships and farm values they've both already talked about a lot. In Missouri, on the banks of the Mississippi River, Ty and Ashley eat dinner. Their conversation turns to her job as an oncology assistant administering chemotherapy to cancer patients. It's one of the most important parts of her life. If she becomes Ty's winner, she's willing to move to Sykeston, but only when she's not in the middle of a patient's treatment plan. Ashley's career impresses Ty.
She's a woman with an occupation.
Enough to kiss her while they watch the moon, the river, and a fireworks display that randomly starts up because it wouldn't be a dating show without at least one random fireworks display. The next morning in Colorado, Joy and Grace disinterestedly ask Emerson about her date.
How was your date yesterday?
It was hard to concentrate because I was sweating.
I was like, how do I
He was sweating too, so it's fine.
Yeah, right.
Meanwhile, in Missouri, only Melody and Megan ask Ashley about hers. While the three of them bond after realizing that they've all kissed Ty,
Melody? Is he a good kisser?
Yeah.
Brooke confronts him in an attempt to ensure the upcoming final solo date for herself. Ty reminds her that once, 5 episodes ago, she said she didn't want a solo date.
There is one last solo date. I haven't got one yet.
Speaking of that, so there was the first one. 99% sure you said you did not want one.
So I think when I said that, I meant that week.
Then to come back out, at the roping, and you were just like, yeah, no, I want this one now. It felt from one extreme to the other, I don't need it, to being demanding of it.
So I confused you?
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
But at the time, didn't Ty like when Brooke told him to take someone else on a date?
I feel like we do have a connection and I'm not worried about the other girls. So I feel like for your next one-on-one, take the girl that you think you need more from. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not worried.
I like that.
Ty calls Brooke a bad communicator, the kind that'll make him feel crazy like his exes, then eliminates her.
I've been in relationships before where, that was a big thing, very confusing, making crazy feeling I just can't take a chance of going through that again.
Surprisingly, she's surprised. I guess she thought repeatedly antagonizing Ashley was the way to Ty's heart. With Brooke out, only 3 of Ty's contestants are left to help him with the day's farm work, giving shots to camels, then walking them around a corral. The camels belong to a man named Flair, whose dad sold Ty his farm. Both Megan and Melody turn out to have a +5 in animal handling, but Ashley is too scared to interact with her camel for more than a few moments before asking Flair to take her back.
Hey, I don't like this. Can I get this camel? I don't want it. I'm good.
You're fine.
No, I don't want it.
You're fine.
I'm fine.
You're fine.
I'm good. I don't want it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I love you. You're so cool.
You're a true cameleer already.
A day earlier, Ashley was excited to move to Missouri so long as she wasn't treating any patients. But after an afternoon as a cameleer, she's suddenly unsure if she wants to leave her job at all, foreshadowing her likely exit in 2 to 3 episodes. In Tennessee, Mitchell's contestants help him install a fence in anticipation of him probably maybe owning cattle one day. His connection with newcomer Natalie continues to fizzle, so much that he's considering eliminating her already, but feels badly doing it without taking her on a solo date first. I know someone Mitchell can talk to about getting over that. In Colorado, Brandon gives each of his contestants a private tractor ride. In the cab, Grace sniffs him, Emerson wishes for wine, and Joy tries to overcompensate for the lingering awkwardness, awkwardly.
You could get used to this.
Oh, please. I could do this all day, every day.
All day, every day?
Yeah, definitely.
Brandon doesn't even want to do that. In Florida, Nathan's contestants fill up his cattle's feed tank by pouring sludge into a spout sticking out of a mud pit. Tattoo Allie, the Purple Kelly of Farmer Wants a Wife, realizes that her connection with Nathan is the weakest, even weaker than Mackenzie's, who's only been there a few days. The last time Nathan and Allie were alone was in episode 2, when they drank in the back of a pickup truck because producers had time to fill after Mackenzie needed to leave. Bereft of a solo date and brown of hair, Allie begins to fear the friend zone.
I enjoy this lifestyle. I enjoy the farming lifestyle, but I feel like right now me and Nathan are still on the friendship level. It's really hard.
Again, Nathan! That night, even though 2 women have already been eliminated this episode, there's still a chance that someone could get cut during dinner. In Florida, Allie shares her concerns with Nathan, but he's able to convince her to bear with him, unlike Kristen, and doesn't eliminate anyone. Neither does Ty, unfortunately for Ashley.
If you all are willing to stay, I would like you all to be here for a little longer.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
In Colorado, dinner has barely started before Brandon asks Joy to talk privately outside.
No pressure, huh?
Since that's how he carried out his one and only elimination earlier this season, Joy fears and drinks for the worst. Will Brandon oust Joy? Will she feel anything if he does? Will Mitchell boot Natalie sans a solo date? We don't know yet, because once again, the episode ends before finishing its elimination cycle like I'm watching a bad season of The Challenge. To find out what happens, come back next week for another Farmer Wants a Wife recap. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.